Hello guys, how we doing? Sun is shining, end of January. I'm at the allotment. I came here for the first time since last year. So as I'm thinking, as I'm here, it's a nice day. So why don't I just maybe fix up one of the beds, start getting things ready as we're easing back into the growing season. All right, guys. So yeah, so maybe I'll just show you what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Bless up. All right. So at the moment, it's not looking too lush. As you can see, my garlic has survived the winter, should I say. So we just got a couple, more weeks of heavy, I would say, winter to come. And then after that, it should start getting a little bit warmer, after, once February is over, sorry, should I say. But yeah, so that's what they look like for now anyway, guys. Just need to give them a tidy up, give them some food, and then they should start perking back up and doing their thing. But apart from that, yeah, it just looks a bit like you can see it's just been overwintered here. Just got things overwintering. So yeah, my Romarescos, I didn't really get to them on time. I only managed to kind of pick, I think, about 2 or 3 of them, and the rest, yeah, went into flowering. But yes, I'll be pulling them out anyway, and I'll be doing a fresh batch for the season to come. Yeah. And over here, I did have my Savoys. I think maybe these 2 here, this one here, and that one at the end there, maybe, I can take them out. But yeah, as you can see, the winter, nothing grows in the winter, You can see the plants don't look happy, they look a little bit miserable. But these are my Swedes that I left there to overwinter, so I'm hoping to pick them as the spring is coming, and I'm going to see how they taste. To be quite honest, I don't think I've actually ever eaten Swedes, so yeah, so this will be my first time. This is some broccoli, throwing at some side shoots. As you can see, it's been a while since I've been here, so there's side shoots everywhere. So once again, I could probably pick these out today. But the plant and all that will be removed as the new season starts. Yeah. More broccolis. Yeah, so the place basically needs a tidying up, a clean up. Maybe I'll be getting some fresh wood chips in, to do my pathways and stuff like I do every year. And yeah, we'll just take it from there, guys. This is the narrow kills. So I believe I can still maybe pick a few more leaves out of these guys before they go into flower. So I'll be, when I'm tidying up, I'll be maybe have to stick them or put some sticks up next to them. But at the moment, that's basically what the allotment looks like. Doesn't look very nice at the moment. But yeah, once I start working on it, start tidying up, it'll be, it'll be a joy to grow food in, should I say. But as well, I'm trying to do this experiment with onions. Well, I wouldn't say it's an experiment. I've seen it being done where you cut like a half of an onion and then you put it down in water, you allow it to root, and then the onion springs back and it gives you like say 2 or 3 onions, depending how big the original onion was, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking of trying to do that. So when I get back, I will show you maybe a quick video on how that is getting along. All right, guys. So for now, I'll show you, well, for now, I'll catch you when I'm doing the video on the onions. All right, guys? All right. Right, guys, we're back at home. So this is what I was telling you about the onions, where you could basically, as you're cooking your onions, you could just cut, say about a quarter of it, you leave that, and then the other 3/4 you can use to cook. Then you put it in water, and then you should start rooting. And as it's rooting, it's also growing you a new onion plant. Now, I think this is a real cool trick. You see what I'm saying to you? For say like people who can't get onion seeds or just unable to get the onion sets when they're ready. If you really want to grow onions, well, this is one way you can get it done. See what I'm saying to you? So when you first cut it, it will look something like this. As you can see, I just put this one in about 2 days ago. It hasn't even really started rooting yet. And this is them at different stages. As you can see, starting to grow here, starting to grow here, and there's the roots, as you can see. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to grow new onion plants from these. So I got my knife, and I'm just really just going to pass the knife through the middle without trying to damage the onion itself. So as you can see, this one I've broken off, so I didn't do a good job here. So we'll just cut this at the bottom here, leave some of the roots in. It's okay to leave the onions around it. You simply put it in here, and I'm going to leave it in here to root, and then I'll be changing it and I'll be putting it in another pot. So I'm going to repeat the process with this one. Hopefully I'll do a better job cutting through the middle. See? So it should look something like this, and then we'll just put them in the individual pots. Now, this is no advert for pot noodles, guys. It's just that the pots make very good pots for you to, you know, do your transplants in, and they last a long time, so why not use them? Yeah. This one is not quite ready yet, but as I've got 2 extra pots, I'll do this one. Oh, sorry, I'm missing out. I'm rushing, guys. I'm going too quickly. So as you can see, the process is quite simple. I just put them in a pot, a little bit of compost. The idea is to allow them to root more and, you know, grow a little bit more. We'll do one more. You know, the roots. So yeah, guys, so as you can see, you can grow onions from onions. Alright? So as we're here as well, just want to show you quickly how the carrots are doing. I don't know if you watched last year, I did a video on how to grow carrots in a pot. And likewise with these onions, I will be transplanting them in a pot. So they'll be grown in pots, similar to this. So you can see how our carrots look. We've had some very, very cold weather. They've been out here. But yeah, let's just see how they look. Let's pull one out and see if we got any carrots. Let me see if I can see any nice looking ones from on top. Alright, so see, this one has got a little bit of a head. Let's see if we've got any carrots in here, guys. Any carrots? Let's wait for it. You know, gardening is supposed to be fun, guys. It's not supposed to be something where you're stressing. Alright, so, well, carrot this size, you know, nice looking carrot, guys, look. And this is grown in a pot. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a lot of space, you don't really need a lot of space for you to grow your own food organically. You just need the right conditions. You know what I'm saying to you? An adequate space. Get yourself some plant pots, guys, and start growing your own food. Especially this year that's coming, I believe. This might come in handy, guys, if you're able to do this. So as you can see, we've got a nice carrot here. I'm not going to pull out anymore because I would like them to get just a little bit bigger. I like them a little bit bigger, you know what I mean? But considering this is coming out in a pot, it's not too bad. Alright? Okay. So, and then obviously the garlic, I'm not going to be pulling out the garlic, but I'll just show you the garlic quickly as we're here. So this was also the garlics we grow in a pot, as you can see. They're doing really well, guys. You know, they're growing really well. Now they've passed the kind of cold part of the winter. As you can see, they've survived that pretty well. So what we're waiting for now is for, you know, the spring to come, and then say like around about May, we should be able to have some nice looking garlic in here, guys. Alright, so on that note, I'd just like to say, guys, live well, and together we grow. Alright? Right, guys, so like I was saying, the sun is shining. I got this bed here. Looks like we could just fix it up a bit. So I'm just kind of showing you guys the process of how I fix my beds when I come back and they look in this state. As time go by, I'm going to be getting some wood chip, hopefully, put in the pathways, you know, make them look real neat. So, you know, when you come and it rains or something like that, you don't really get mud up your feet. And as you can see, the wood chip that was there from last year, I don't know if you can just about see along the pathways, they've all turned into a compost. So all that is going to be quite helpful to go back into our beds for the new year to come. Alright, but basically normally I just go along with my little hand shovel. Just first just go along like this, and I go all the way down to the bottom, just to make sure that everything is level, and then I work on putting things on top. Right, so I do this, guys, basically just to keep things so I can see where my pathway is and where my bed is. More times my beds are kind of very, very low to the surface of the ground. So I will do this on both sides as I'm doing it, removing any weeds that I see, any weeds that's on the beds. I'm going to be removing them. This can be kind of therapeutic sometimes if you see it in that way. Just take your time and just removing anything that's not supposed to be there. And as you see, these beds have been like this since last year. There's not a lot of weeds on them. When you do the no-dig, when you do your gardening with a no-dig style method, basically it doesn't leave space for a lot of weeds to grow, because you kind of killed all the weeds in the beginning. And the style that, because you're not turning the soil, then you're not bringing in any old seeds that's underneath that may create, new weeds for the year to come. So like this, it's a lot easier. You're just removing the weeds that's already on the surface, or what that may have blown in. So we're just going to take our time and, try not to disturb the soil too much as we move in old plants that was there from the year before. These was my pepper plants. I had my peppers growing along here. This year I will start a bit more earlier with my peppers, I believe. But everything I grow here is organic. It's literally the soil just doing its thing, and all I'm doing is just adding more health to the soil, And if you've been following me, you know that my main kind of fertilizer for my soil is like coffee granules. So I'll jump to the other side and repeat the process. So what I'm trying to do is push the shovel under, so I can try to get as much of this as possible, as much as the roots as possible. So there's less chance of the weed coming back. And I'm trying to do that without disturbing the soil. I'll do it as less as possible to disturb the soil. Now, if I was digging my beds up on a yearly basis, I'll just come and I'll just keep turning this over. Next year when I come, this whole thing will be covered with weeds. You know what I'm saying to you? So, excuse me. So this is why I personally prefer to do like the no-dig way of gardening. If you can especially keep on top of your compost, you know what I'm saying to you, you won't have no problem with this. Yeah, so as you can see, these are the old pepper plants from last year. Just removing them and the sticks that was holding them up. As you can see, setting up your beds, I mean, different people have different methods of doing it. Alright, so setting up your bed for the no-dig session, as you can see, it's not a headache, you know. You're still gonna have a little bit of sweat and stuff because you're still working, you know. But it's not like physical work, if you understand what I mean. Right. Like I say, it could be quite therapeutic in some ways, you know, just taking your time, pulling out the weeds, you know, thinking about what you're going to be growing for the year to come, and it's all good. When I finish doing this, I'm going to be putting a layer of compost on top of this at some point. Right, so as you can see so far, all I'm using to do my garden bed is just this, you know. So for the moment I haven't dug anything. All I'm doing is just pulling out my weeds. Trying not to disturb the bed as little as I can, you know. Right, so just gonna put the weed in the weeds in the recycle, basically tidy up as I go. Right, so the only place I'm literally digging is just the pathway, but not the actual bed. I'm just trying to define the difference between the beds and the pathway, basically. So I don't step over my beds. So you can see creating a bed, or even like say fixing a bed the year before, when you do it in no dig, it's not really hard. Like, see, I don't want to say the word it's not really hard work, but what I'm saying to you, it's not something that you're going to be stressing your head on. Oh, I need to dig this, I need to put this fertilizer in, I need to put for me, that's why no dig is good, because you ain't got to worry about all of that. Your soil kind of holds its structure, it kind of holds the previous year's, you know, life that was in there, and then you're going to be adding more life to it every year by adding, you know, the new compost, by adding your, you know, natural organic fertilizer like the coffee granule and stuff like that. Yeah, you will see wonders over time. As you can see by my soil. Yeah. So I think for today, I'll do this bed for today. That should be good enough. Next time I come, I'm going to go over to where I normally grow my corn, which is over that side there. Let me show you that quickly. So over there is where I normally grow my corn. Let's check this area here. Excuse me. I do it over this side here because of the way the sun comes over, and I do it over here, and I got the rest of the space over that side where it's not going to be causing any kind of shadow or shade to, you know, affect my plants as they grow. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you how I, you know, do my bed setups. You get me? So all I've got to do now basically is I'm going to be coming over some of my compost that I've been composting over there. I'm going to be putting a thin layer of compost on top of it just to give it a bit of life, and then that'll be my bed ready to be planted in. And I'll be repeating the same process I've done with this one with the others. Alright, so I'm going to be repeating the process that you just see me doing with all the rest of the beds there. The rest of the beds there. And then I normally then, excuse me, put wood chips in between. And that's my process, guys. That's all your plants need in a way, just a bit of love, tender care. So like with my garlic here, when I come back, I'm going to be tidying them up, maybe giving them a bit of natural organic food, if you know what I mean. And then yeah, I'm just going to leave them to their devices, let nature do its thing.